Like, oh, okay. So we're gonna do the 6.7 conversion. New engine has arrived, bought a truck. Well, there she is. So if you need parts, I'll have plenty of 4th gen parts. We're gonna use that block. That bottom end is going in Bertha. Hopefully within, I don't know, I gotta wait for the machine shop, but we're gonna back it up the hill and then just roll it in while I'm working on that 12 valve. And the Ford's done. Just waiting on him to show up with the tuner. He should be here Saturday. So listen to that. That's the truck I put the transmission in. All right, we're gonna reverse snatch block it up this hill to right about here and then just roll it in. Make it super easy. Love having a winch. Snatch block to here, all the way up to the frame. We got our bridle, doing it correctly. We'll get it up there. The drive shaft's out in his truck. Anything from the back half to the drive shaft is all in his truck. All right. Look at that. I just gotta watch the cable right there. I have just enough battery life, so he's gonna pull forward and I'm gonna roll this thing down into the shop and hope I make it the first time. No keys and no park, just e-brake. This is gonna suck. Well, boys, look at that. Got us a 4th gen. So we just got this thing in. This is mine. We're gonna be parting this out, getting it all cleaned up. This mirror's obviously trashed, but it has good doors. The bed's shot, so I'm gonna get all of this stuff cleaned out, get this thing parted out. We do need to save the back window. Seats are in here, kind of smells mildewy, but I'll probably have someone come in here and clean all of this out. We got us a 4th gen, and I can't remember how many miles are on it. It was 200 something. I'm not super worried about it. I bought it for the bottom end because I was gonna go and 5.9 swap this, put a 5.9 back in it, not swap it, but put one back in it. And then after doing all the research, going back and forth with Josh McCormick, he's the guy who won UCC, and just going through his videos and comments and all that, there was no benefit to going back to a 5.9, especially with the information that I have now. Pretty much this same exact setup that I am running, there was another guy that did over 700 horsepower with it. Obviously, he had an upgraded, I think he had a 10 mil CP3, but CP3 aside, the dude made over 700 horsepower on that charger right there and a set of injectors, a FAS, and just coming back to it on a 6.7, it's going to be a stronger block down below because of the cylinders being close together. So that's kind of why I just ultimately decided let's just 6.7 swap the damn thing. And I don't have to buy a cam now, or I'm going to sell the cam that I have. I wanted to get rid of the EGR cam. That's why I was going to do this. And then the injectors. I just got to get 03, 04. We're going to go with 125 horsepower injectors instead of hundreds. And we're just going to swap the tips and then get them sent out and tested. But my goal today is to pull this motor out. This is a 6.7. Obviously, it's got some parts missing. And we're going to pull this thing out. All of this stuff on the front. This piece is new. Everything here is literally new. The reason this truck was parked was for the transmission. It is a 2-wheel drive truck, but some reason it has a solid axle. So it has that dummy axle on the front, which I like those. When I was running 2-wheel drive, those were great. I am still running 4-wheel drive, but I have my axles gutted right now. But I do plan on swapping those out for the unlockable hubs. So let's get this thing cleaned up and kind of pretty much I think the first step to do is going to be getting everything off the front. Drain. Do I need to drain the coolant? Is there coolant in this thing? I would hope not. It's probably full of coolant. Let's be real here. We're going to get that all pulled. We're not using the head. We are using the 5.9 head. That is over here. And a 6.7 head gasket, and then we're going to drill out the steam holes in the head. But no reason to use anything on the 6.7 side. It's a good 5.9 head. This truck is always going to have a 5.9 head, but a 6.7 block. And that's how we're going to do it. All right, so we got a little further. Had to get the bumper off. Get these brackets off. The cooler's in the way, and somebody decided, I guess I guess that's how they go. The cooler bolts in from the top, so we got to pull the brackets off as well. And then you can pull these guys off. So the bumper has to come off first. What do you guys think? We put a 4th gen bumper on Bertha for a little while. You know what I mean? That'd be hilarious. This bumper's kind of trashed, though. I'd have to straighten it up and repaint it and this and that, but maybe. We'll see. A little bit of a mess with the coolant, not a big deal. Nothing with the AC, not a big deal. That goes into some things and into some stuff and down in there. There's the coolant. There's the transmission stuff. I'm not sure what this cooler does. That cooler, it looks like it goes to something down on this side. Doesn't even matter. We're pulling it all. This one's a little crooked. I don't know if that's normal. Oh, it's not. That's supposed to be bolted in right there. Someone didn't do that, so not really a big deal. We're going to unbolt it. That one should be the transmission, but actually, you know what? Come to think of it, that one might be the transmission, and that one might be the power steering cooler. Aha, and then there looks like there's a cooler behind it, or it goes into that. I don't know. We'll figure it out as we get in there. It doesn't really matter what's what. This is probably the transmission cooler because of this. I don't get to dig these 4th gens down as far as I do the 3rd gen, so need to get this off, get the rad. It's only a couple more things. Dodge did this like dual rad thing in this year of truck, and it's really weird. I think this might even be a 13. I don't know what year of truck I bought. Let's see, 7 of 13. So I bought a 2013. I thought this was a 2012. So the 2012 has the big intercooler in the front. The 2013, that's when they did this dual rad crap, and just overly complicated system. So all you got to do, pull this pick, or get a pick in here on this side, and then there should be one over here, and then that should just drain. So got to clean this coolant up. Really hate messes on the floor, but this intercooler pipe over here, that's already pulled off. We're getting there. We are getting there. We're gonna have to unbolt the cab at some point, lift the cab up to get the motor out. Not really a big deal. Looks like we got more lines up here. So let's just start pulling all that stuff off and getting that out of here. There's a distribution block right here. So any of these dual rad trucks on the Cummins, I will never own one. At least not for my own personal rig, because I had guys ask me if I'll ever get something newer, and I'm not sure when they stopped this. I know they started it in 2013. I don't know when they stopped it, but pain in the ass. There's a bolt back here. You have to take the whole wiring harness off. This whole front end, like whereas on my truck you just push it to one side, cut it, no problem. This, absolute pain in the ass. Now I'm lucky. This isn't a truck that's going back together. But a lot of the parts on this truck we are going to be utilizing for the 12-valve swap on that truck that's up on the hill. I'm going to be looking over it and checking to make sure that I bought the right truck. All right, so I don't know where we got cut off last night, and unfortunately, we're having some phone issues. But I think I was saying something about these 2013 trucks, and I'm not sure how high this goes up, but these dual rad trucks are just a pain in the ass. And I remember I did own a few of them back in the day, and I completely forgot until this one. So, while we're waiting on the other phone to get situated, the dual rad is out. Everything's pretty much out on the front, and then this has to come out. There is a bolt that goes back there, and then you have to undo all the harnesses, and then you have to take this off, so I got to pull the intercooler out, and then this whole thing will come out. But man, that has been a fight in itself, and it's just a shit design, and I hate it. So, would I ever own a 2013 truck, or any truck with this front end here, any of the Dodges? Absolutely not. I will never own one. So I am going to get this here. And if you guys notice, the rear transmission mount is not in. This thing is held up with motor mounts themselves, because this is the truck that we got the parts off of to do the two-wheel drive swap on. You remember this thing here. So this transmission got ripped in half, and this is where all the two-wheel drive parts came from, was this truck. And then I pretty much just took it off of his hands. This thing shouldn't be long for getting out. I might just be able to pull the engine and transmission as one assembly, because it's already sitting back there, because if I unbolt the transmission, it's just gonna fall in the ground, and we can't be having that. All right, here's where we're at. Gotta get that line off. I'm not sure yet if I'm gonna pull the whole thing as one assembly or I'm gonna drop the trans yet. I have not decided, but everything over here is set aside. Next step is getting everything over here. I will attempt to get this fan off at some point. I don't think I've ever had to do a motor in a 13 to 18 truck, and I completely forgot. I guess that is a 13 to 18 thing. I don't like it. If I were to have a 4th gen, I'd probably go with a 10 to 12, to be honest. After seeing this design, I completely forgot about it. I had a 12 4500 before with the big intercooler in the front, and I liked that. Same thing as the 3rd gens, but they had to do this crappy little, which this one's going in the trash, but they had to do that crappy little design right there, and I don't like that. We're getting there. I'm gonna be saving, obviously, the emissions falling off parts. The manifold has already been taken. Just continue going here. I'm just giving you little updates as we go. I am gonna lift this cab up, 3 bolts, pick the cab up a little bit, and I just need to get this one here and then a couple more pieces of the wiring, and there will be a few grounds, all the positive wire and all that stuff off. Once it's off, we're going to take the head off and set the blocks next to each other. This is getting picked up Wednesday, so once this is picked up, I can pretty much set both engines next to each other and just transfer everything over. And if anyone is interested in this block, let me know. But it is going to be a bare bones block. I'm reusing pretty much everything from this block is getting transferred over to the other one. So this will just be, even with the front case, I'm pretty sure we're going to be using the I'm not sure yet, actually. Something with the front case. But yeah, so cam, pistons, like it'll be a whole complete rotating assembly. Literally just needs a piston on number 6. If you're interested in swapping that out, I do need to grab that for the head. And other than that, because this one here is missing it. So we're getting there. I'm going to throw some music on and just keep going to town. All right, so we're slowly getting this motor up. It's not clearing on that side yet. I just got to grab the pry bar right down in there. But motor's up. We got 3 blocks on each side. Cab is lifted up. That one was an absolute pain in the ass. I hit it with the impact. It broke free to a certain point and then just stopped. The other 5 were able to get out. And like I said, when you lift these cabs like this, leave the back 2 in. I've been doing motors like this a long time, and it's way better than I used to do back in the day, where you just tried to clear everything, and that was a pain in the ass. Look how much room that there is. Also, you guys will notice a lot different camera quality using the A52 Samsung instead of my Galaxy S20. So the new phone will be here tomorrow, so we'll be back to filming with the old one. But gonna get this out. Figured I'd film this for you guys real quick. You guys can see right there, I just need to grab the old pry bar, the old big snap-on. Yeah, that's right, I use some snap-on tools. Not many, but I use them. And then this side should be clearing. Yeah, because we're angled this way, and we do have the trans on the back, because I realized there's no valve body, there's no tail shaft. So all of the weight on this motor is pretty much in the middle. There's not much weight on the backside. So I'm gonna keep doing what I can. Music is blaring, and we should have this motor out in the next 10-15 minutes. So speaking of late 4th gen trucks, this thing was actually a pain in the ass. First things first, we got caught on the bracket. If you're gonna do these, take that bracket off. Second of all, take off the exhaust bracket. That thing was also a pain in the ass. And then you got to get this thing high enough. If the trans wasn't on there, we probably wouldn't have the problems that we're having. But it's light enough. We got it up in the air. I'm using a come along to back there. And then we're just kind of slow and steady. Look how easy that's coming. Oh, there's a harness back there. Don't worry, we'll cut all that too. There we go. Oh yeah. She's coming out. I know there's some of that harness that needs to come off, so we'll probably just remove it from up here, make it super easy. Somewhere back there I gotta cut, and then this guy up here, this needs to get removed from here. So I'm gonna try to save as much of the wiring as possible. I know they had cut a couple of things, so it came like that when I bought it, but this cab's gonna be for sale and this frame's gonna be for sale down the road. So keep that in mind. If you're gonna swap stuff over, the best thing to do, honestly, because I mean, like I said, I can't help what other people did. You probably just transfer your old harness over to the new one, fuel lines, the whole 9 yards. I'm gonna get this motor out, probably set it like right over here somewhere, and then dig into it when I get the chance. But this, once this is out, this needs to leave, and yeah, this is gonna go up on the hill. I'm gonna store that up there because we got 2 or 3 or 4 other projects coming in at the same time. And I'm gonna try to save as many. Wow. I wonder if you guys heard that. Semi just blew a tire. Let's pull this thing out a little bit more, get some of these wires off of here, and we'll go from there. All right, so motor is out, sitting down there. We started throwing some of this shit down. Tomorrow I'm gonna have this thing pulled out, but in the meantime, I needed to throw the stuff down and clean the mess because that trans has been pissing transmission fluid since it came here because no valve body. Actually, the valve body's over here. So a couple of things like electronics, the PCM was already taken and used for another truck, but I have an electronics guy who comes and gets that, and then I have a valve body that is going to be used as a core because I don't think that it's a good one. It very well might be, but this is where we're sitting. Like I said, I'm gonna pull this trans and we're gonna throw it over there next to that trans because he's gonna be taking both of them when he comes up. And then I'm gonna pull this head, get it checked out, probably set it aside. And the injectors, these are good injectors. This truck, from what I understand, this is what he told me, the transmission went out. That's why they parked the truck. Now, this is a good customer of mine, so I think this is the second, yeah, actually, because I bought this truck off of him. So, 2 trucks I got off of him. So, I've had good luck. He's never done me wrong. If anything is wrong with the bottom end, I'll certainly make a video about it. Make myself look like an ass, but get views and, you know, get paid for it. I see we've already taken that sensor off. We were using this as a parts truck at one point, and I'm like, you know, he said, we have a block up there, like a good motor. And I'm like, oh, okay. So we're going to do the 6.7 conversion. Just the bottom end. It's going to be great. Probably going to start prepping it for compounds as well. I know that's been open, so I am going to drain everything out. We're going to be pulling everything. This whole motor's getting resealed. I'm pulling the cam out, doing the whole 9 yards. Unfortunately, somebody put a Fram filter on it. So like I said, all of this stuff is getting pulled and checked out. Not available with ultra wide. Wow, I hate this phone. You guys can see down in there. This was a runner, so we'll verify it all in the next video. I just wanted to get this so I could get a video for you guys. But this is the biggest project right now. Actually, these are one of the 2 projects. I have another motor coming in this week. He's just trying to figure out how to get it to me without spending a ton of money. And then, yeah, I'm busy as shit. Let's just put it that way. I'm content with the workload that I have right now. I'm not trying to take any more of a workload, but I would really love to get this truck done. We are going to start ordering parts. Now that the block's in, I'm going to be transferring everything over. Everything else, the water pump from O'Reilly's, we're going to try it out and see how it works. I don't know if we're going to do a fluid damper or not. I'm going to talk to Firepunk and get kind of their opinion on it. But the plan is to be able to rev this motor out to about 4,000. I don't want to go any more than that. I understand guys are running stock bottom ends to 5K. It's not for me. As much as I know I'm going to blow motors up, I also would like a little bit of longevity. I would like these motors to realistically last 2.5 to 3 years at a time. I got some good news because you guys and I have been going back and forth between the full manual valve body, and I'm like, yes, I would love one, but I found a better option. I don't know if this is going to be a better option, but this is going to be a good in-between option. So I went and got a shifter from the 08 over there, and Firepunk. We have this apart right now because we're going to be redoing some wiring. But Firepunk and BD both sell. It's like $800 or $900. I don't have to full manual valve body, but I can take this shifter here, and they said it works perfectly fine. Doesn't matter what shifter I buy. As long as I have one from one of the 6-speed trucks, you can get a controller, either the Anteater Pro, or BD's tap shifter. I can get one of those, and then my transmission, essentially, I can control the gears in it. Super happy about that. I think that's the route we're going to go. That way I don't have to have a big shifter in the center console and get in the way, because then I can't access that. And a lot of you guys said you weren't really interested in the full manual valve body. And at the same time, I think the full manual valve body is going to cost me about $2,500 by the time it's said and done. This is going to cost me $800 and do just the same thing. And I can use the truck as an automatic when I want, and then I can tap shift when I don't want. I think that's where we're going to put this video. If you guys need parts, there will be parts availability from this thing at some point. I know you guys love it when I say that, at some point, this thing is gonna stick out like a sore thumb. So I'm gonna have it pulled in, up on the hill, and get rid of those boards. Yeah, gotta get rid of the boards, and then we can put it up on the hill. So I will do that tomorrow. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys in another video. cpstevemiller.com. See ya.